Hey guys, welcome back to my sewing room. I'm Kelly and you found me here on Pick and Stitches, and today I'm going to be unboxing this box of fun. This came in today from Juki Junkies. They are based out of Florida. It's a small mom and pop sewing shop and they have phenomenal customer service. They know everything and anything there is to know about Jukis, but they also have an amazing selection of thread and fabrics and classes. And if you're close, I suggest you go in and take a peek. But even if you're looking for something further away, they have the best customer service I have ever experienced on the phone. When you call, you catch someone, they know the answer or they're going to find out for you. They always call you back. I cannot say how happy I have been. I have ordered things from them and accidentally needed to cancel it and at the last minute, and I called them in a panic, and luckily we were early enough to make it happen. And I love customer service that is really, really good, and there's few and far between businesses that can say that now. So anyways, this new box came in and it says, warning, you're about to experience happiness. Isn't that just the cutest? I can't wait. I can't wait. So I am an affiliate with Juki, or with Juki Junkies. So if you use the link in the description, I do make a small fee for that. It doesn't cost you guys anything, but I'm never going to recommend something to you that I didn't already use or don't continue to use on my own. And this is a business that I have always enjoyed them and the things that they produce. And I am a huge junkie for Juki anyways, before I even knew there was a website called Juki Junkies. And that was where I got a lot of my knowledge. So, ooh, that's fun. It says, we appreciate you, Juki Junkies. I got some stickers. Ooh, I know a couple places that could go. I've got some kids who like to steal my stickers though, so I'm gonna have to get them placed before they get in. Oh, you guys, and a cute little Juki Junkie pen, not pen. I'm so used to needle minders. It's a keychain. It's a keychain. I'll get you guys a picture of it. And these are one of my favorite tools. These are the cleaners that you would use inside your bobbin case. And I try to do that every 5th bobbin change. If I've gone through 5 bobbins, unless I'm running 100% polyester, I'm going to do a thorough clean on my bobbin casing. And this Juki doesn't need a whole lot of service, but it does appreciate a little TLC now and then. And I really like the ones that they carry. I made the mistake early in my sewing days of buying the cheaper variety on a different website, and these are like really thick and padded. The ones that I got were really thin, and so they're not as good at getting in the nooks and crannies. I mean, you don't want to use just a regular cotton swab because that's going to leave behind lint, and we're trying to get the lint out. But I like how like thick and squishy these are compared to the cheaper variety. I'm going to see if I still have maybe one of those old ones laying around somewhere, and I'll see if I can't show you guys what I'm talking about a little bit more up close. So those are the cleaners that I like for my Juki. Ooh, okay. And this, how perfect is this? I think I just pressed, like literally I just burned a hole in my wool mat here. Don't look at that. I think I just pressed like 3 miles of binding because I've got 2 quilts that I'm going to use this orange binding on that I need to get off my UFO list. And this is the left hand compensating foot. So the right hand compensating foot came with my Juki, with my set, and it works when you need it. It certainly could even almost work as your 1/4 inch foot, but this is a right hand compensating foot. So when you put it on your machine and you're sewing, you've sewn your binding on, you flip it up and over, and then you sew top stitch down the other row. This lower side is inside the body of your quilt, and the raised side is going to be up and over the binding. So it really helps you get that 1/8 of an inch seam like perfectly, and it's almost like spring loaded. I'll try to zoom in and get you guys some better pictures. So one side is stiff. Actually, no, both sides are mobile so that they can go up and over those seams. I can't wait to try this out, and I've got 2 quilts that I'm ready to do it with. So thank you, Juki Junkies, for helping me expand my quilting horizons. Put you right there because you're about to be used. Okay. this is what I was looking for, and I'm going to probably do a whole video shortly on free motion quilting on this machine. This is what I did all of my free motion quilting on, start to finish, until a couple of months ago when I picked up that long arm. And this machine is more than capable of getting it done. The one suggestion that I have for you is to switch to this heavy duty plate. Now, I sewed all of mine out without a problem at all without switching to the heavy duty plate, but it, you know, do as I say, not as I do. The heavy duty plate is really going to be a better solution for sewing through thicker fabrics when you're kind of putting that needle under a little bit of tension sometimes. This hole is a little bit bigger also, so you have a bigger spot that the needle can travel through before it just hits your plate and breaks. So I can't wait to get this installed, and we'll probably do those at the same time. What else do we have in here? Oh, a new pen. So the Juki's TL models do require that you oil them. So I usually have marked the top of my machine with the washi tape so I don't forget which holes it needs to go in, although the other ones, if you actually stand up, you can see they're screws. It's okay, but it's just nice to have it easy. And I like to use these really small ones. I oil my machine often because I use it often. I don't put a ton in, I put 1 drop in. So I usually am going to do that probably every 4 or 5 days, depending on how many miles and miles. Like if I'm strip piecing an entire jelly roll, I'm going to use a little bit more. If I'm doing like smaller piecing where I get up and I iron, I go to the stitch and do, you know, I'm not actually throwing down that many stitches even though I'm in the sewing room, then I might not oil it quite as much. But anytime I start to hear it kind of change sounds, I always start with oiling these bottom 2. I don't want to do any excessive oiling in the top, so I just kind of start there. But for the most part, you know, every couple of days seems to work well for me. So if you're not sewing that often, I would say every project or 2, but you know, you probably should just call Juki Junkies and ask them what their recommendation is based on how often you are using your machine. But this is a pen oiler. It's refillable, and I am excited to give that a try. And one of my favorites. So this is the Glide, which weight is this? I should know. 40. So this is the Glide 40. This is kind of the standard weight in poly threads. And I will tell you, I was an Aurifil girl for a really long time. A couple of the people that kind of taught me all that I needed to know about sewing to get started very much believed in Aurifil. And every time I used anything that I had bought at some of the big box stores locally, I was never happy with it. And so I just said, forget it. I sewed with Aurifil all the time. My machine loved it and I was fine. But lately I've been kind of trying to explore other options. What else is out there? What else is available that I might want to check out? And so I've been using a lot of Glide. I've got the cotton Glide set up right now. This is a 50 weight cotton Glide and I love it. It sews out almost identical to my Aurifil. It presses well like my Aurifil. When I feel like the thread, if I just run it through my fingers, it almost feels a tiny bit thicker to me, but I don't notice it when I'm sewing, and so I don't really mind that it feels tactilely a little different. It's still a very consistent thread. I haven't had any breakage, so that's been good. And I'm excited about that. Okay, so these are a couple of the different kind of light gray, white, basic 40 weights. I have some 40 weights and some 60 weights. I really like using the 60 weights in my bobbin on the long arm because it makes it last forever and it kind of makes the pattern disappear. And since I'm a new long arm quilter, sometimes that's a good thing. Okay, and then this last foot is a 1/4 inch presser foot. So we all know that to have a 1/4 inch seam, your best bet is to have a 1/4 inch foot. And so this is one of, hello, doesn't want to open. I usually am just sewing with the one that came with my machine, which is actually a 6mm foot, which is just smaller than a 1/4 inch. So what I like about that is if I line up with the edge of my presser foot, I'm always just short of that 1/4 inch. So I'm really more of a scant quarter that gives me a little bit more wiggle room. So this particular foot, and I will get you a picture, has the 1/4 inch, and then it actually has a dropped guide so that your fabric shouldn't go past it if you're going under it. So that can be a really big difference if you're struggling with your 1/4 inch seams, because this will make it really obvious when you're not sewing a 1/4 inch. And I think that that'll be fun to tinker with. And my daughter's learning how to sew, and she's learning how to be more accurate, and this will help everybody out. So I cannot wait to try all this stuff out. This is going to be so much fun. Oh, there's something else in here. Oh, how cute is that? It's a little bee. Fun, fun, fun. All right. Well, that's my entire loot from Juki Junkies. Again, I really do stand behind this particular company. I think they have been phenomenal. Their customer service has been phenomenal. Their knowledge is great. I know anytime anybody buys a new machine from them online, they pick up the phone and call them and talk to them and make sure that the machine the person ordered is actually the machine that's the best for them, because they want to make sure that you're happy with what you buy. So again, if you do choose to use Juki Junkies, I am an affiliate with them. Clicking that link doesn't cost you anything. It does get me a small support for the channel. And if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Juki Junkies would be more than happy to answer them. And until then, I will see you guys next. One of the older ones. This is one of the older ones. Look at how thin that is. And look at how chunky this one is from Juki Junkies. And also, I don't know if you guys can see this. It's focusing on the wrong one. It's almost like just a smoother texture on it. And this one is almost a little bit, come on, focus. This one's almost a little bit more foamy. I just feel like this grabs the lint better. So I just cleaned my bobbin case out kind of in a faster fashion. I'm going to go run this through the bobbin case and see if I get anything else out. Okay, so I'm going to run through with the skinny one and just kind of see what we can get out of there. And it's coming out fairly clean. It's not terrible. There's a little bit. Oh, I found a lob. All right, now let's see. Okay, so still, come on, focus. Still not getting just a ton, but let's see how this thicker one does for us. Because really, we just want all that lint out from all those nooks and crannies. And I'll just give it like 15 seconds of kind of seeing what it can come up with. You guys, look at all that extra stuff that it pulls out. So if you're going to take the time to stop and clean, I want to like be as effective as I possibly can. So I want to get all of this out while I'm in there. And these pads are definitely going to be better than some of the other options. If you get something in and it's not a stellar quality, that's probably why. So I will put the link in the description to these things if you're interested. And I will see you guys next time. So on the cheaper variety, you can actually just pull the lint off with your fingers because it doesn't stick to the device that well. With this one, it's really harder to pull the lint off. So once it gets on there, it's really going to stay, which is going to help you pull it out of your machine, which is what we all want, right? Okay guys, bear with me here. I kind of decided at the last minute that I'm going to video this. I pulled these first 2 screws out. They were right here on my plate, and that is all I have done so far. I'm going to show you how dirty my machine is because I have not taken the cover off and cleaned it in a little bit. So let's start there. In fact, this is probably a great learning experience. I'm getting ready to free motion quilt this guy, and so I wanted to change to my heavy duty plate. Let me see if I can zoom you in because that's gross. You all see all of that? I think it was time. It's probably been about 3 months since I took that plate off to get some cleaning done in here, and it needs to be done. Let me move my quilt off before I get all this lint on it. All right. I want to get one of those vacuum attachments. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. That's just crazy. Yeah, here I am. It's been a hot minute since I've done this. I clearly need to do it more often. I think I'm going to have to put it on my calendar to go first of the month, kind of like the dog heartworm prevention. Because, man, that's a lot of lint. I was noticing there's like a vacuum attachment. I want to try that. I bought one of those little tiny portable vacuum things from Walmart, and it was terrible. It doesn't do anything. So read the reviews before you do that. But I kind of feel like I want something to stick in there. Probably going to get in trouble for doing that, but... Okay, so that's right around my bobbin. Let's see if we can get in there. You guys, this is so much. That's so gross. Okay, there we go. I do like these little Q-tip thingies from Juki Junkies. They are way better than the ones I bought on Amazon forever ago. They're just fluffier and fatter, and they hold the dirt more. It's like the difference between a dust mop and a microfiber cloth. They hold it. They snatch it up and hold it, which is what I want, because I want you out of my machine. Okay, guys, that is so much better. Okay. So now that we're back to basics here, I'm going to get that new plate out. And again, if this video is going to all be about switching out this plate, this is the heavy duty plate. The throat plate for thick fabric is what it's called. And it does not have any instructions. Okay, so this looks like I can just switch these plates, but I'm probably going to have to get my husband to help. Oh, you've been summoned. Okay, guys, so my husband helped me put this on. There's this one piece here that is kind of spring-loaded, if you will, and then these other two pieces just kind of snap in. So the way you have to do it is align this guy with it and then kind of put the whole thing under pressure. So it is a little bit of a grip strength, easy to slip and slide. It's not terribly hard, but it is, you know, it's not super trivial. So that's done. Now I'm just going to pop it on. And the big advantage of this particular plate is that it's heavy duty for thick fabrics. So it has a little bit larger hole. And that way, sorry, let me get my body out of your shot. That way, when your needle is traveling up and down, it can have a little bit more give and not hit your needle plate. Because a lot of times when we're sewing thicker fabrics or free motion quilting, because we've got 2 layers of fabric plus batting, that makes it just a little bit more smooth. So I've been meaning to do that for ages, and then I got the long arm, so I didn't do it, and now I'm doing it. Clearly, I'm as good with a screwdriver as I am with a sewing machine. Can you guys tell? It's actually, this knob is in the way a little bit, so it's hard to get. The screwdriver's a little bit tall to get totally square, and since I'm not working at a 90-degree angle, I'm trying not to strip the screw. There we go. Okay, so that's all there is to it. So I haven't used this plate before, so when I put my bobbin in, I'm going to be extra careful. I don't even have my machine on yet. I'm going to use the turn wheel to go up and down and make sure that I like those clearances. So now we are ready to move on to our quilting. Okay, guys. this is that new compensating foot. This is my first time using it. I have already sewn my binding onto the back side of my fabric, and then I've just used Wonder Clips to go all the way around it. I've got my corners mitered the way I think they're going to work out. So I'm really hoping that I can just drop the needle and start stitching and not be so fiddly. So I'm going to drop my Wonder Clips in here. If it gets too loud, I may pull my bowl over here because I'm sure that'll get kind of clanky, and then I can pick them all up at the end. You can see I like to toss all kinds of fun stuff in there. It's my catch-all when I'm sewing, right? Okay, so we'll give this a quick try. Let me get these out before I lose them, because that's what I'll do. Okay, so let's see how long this takes. And I was messing with all my pressures yesterday, so let's take a look. I'm going to go mid pressure on the front, and let's see how we do. Feels like maybe I sewed my 1/4 inch seam a little fat on the back, so I'm just making sure that I'm going to include it in this section. It is not the foot misbehaving, it is my line on the back that I can feel with my fingers. Okay guys, that was all the way around the quilt. I could not be more pleased with how easy that was. Now I did starch this binding, so it is possible that it is this starch that's acting differently, but you know how sometimes as you're coming down the line, the binding gets pushed in front of your foot, and so you kind of get this roll in front, so I have to tug from the back a little bit as it's feeding through to keep it even. I didn't have to do that at all. With this pressure foot, kind of, it has more pressure on the quilt than on the binding. It just let it flow right through. So that was really smooth and easy. It took me about 10.5 minutes to do binding on all 4 sides. Now granted, I already had it pinned, and let's see, this quilt is about 60 by 65. So not a huge quilt, but to throw the binding on the back all the way around the corner, I'm happy with everything, in 10 minutes is pretty stinking good. Now I had already pinned it, used my Wonder Clips all the way around, so I'd already pulled any loose threads for the most part, and I'd already worked through mitering the corners, but I'm pretty pleased with that. I'll be using this guy in the future for sure. Okay guys, this one went even faster than the last one. Same thing. I feel like this toe, as it's pulling it through, it's putting pressure on the quilt, it's relieving pressure on the binding. I had no areas that even wanted to start to pleat. It jumped right over my diagonal seams with zero problem. I am very, very impressed, and it certainly makes things easier. If you've sewn for a really long time with a regular presser foot, I don't know if you've watched me, I kind of like fold it over as I'm going, and the whole thing is really fiddly, and you probably can see me like doing this because I put my elbow down on the quilt to really push the quilt through, and then I'm holding this side down, so it's like a whole body exercise, almost like a rowing machine, right? But with this, for whatever reason, it just fed really smoothly. I kind of used my left hand to manage the quilt out on this side, but I wasn't having to like make sure I held it and everything went together through. So that was a lot easier. I definitely will be using this foot for my binding in the future.